going on, YouTube? I've been meaning to get on the internet and talk more. I've been going through a lot of things in life, and I'm more of like a hands-on. I gotta internalize the knowledge before I feel the need to share it with others. But I've definitely been wanting to get on here, kind of give y'all like different levels of either motivation, story times, just whatever, like a day in the life of Ari, kind of, but allow it to guide you in a way, you know what I'm saying? Take what resonate, leave the rest. Recently, I have been going through a lot of changes. I'm a very spiritual and faithful person. I believe in God, I pray, I read the Bible. I'm also connected with the universe. I do meditations, I do Tai Chi, and I try to be pretty well-rounded, you know what I'm saying? I pay attention to the signs and things like that. You know, transitional periods, people leave in my life, people enter in my life, and trying to figure it all out. I know that obviously we're not going to have all the answers all the time, but to kind of make sense out of what's going on is always my goal. A lot of times, not even just with my life, but with others. I train people, and I do often give people advice. Like, all of my clients are a lot of friends as well. Sometimes will contact me, we just kind of talk about things, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like another mindful ear, you know. So recently I've been going through some transitional changes in my housing situation, in which I was staying in a shelter, and that for me was hard to conceive because I had a lot of shame with that, you know what I'm saying? I've never been in a situation where I experienced that level of homelessness, to have to stay in a shelter. I've had apartments, I lived on college campuses, I lived in a dormitory when I was working at Cedar Point for 4 years, and yeah, so I'm really just not used to going without, and this is very different for me. So I had a lot of shame, I was embarrassed, I was, you know, kind of hiding my circumstance because it made me feel less than, and I've started to come outside of that, and I've started to be able to utilize my resources a little bit better and change my circumstance, right? So this has been going on since January, earlier this year, like January, I think 17th, and I was so caught up and focused on leaving that place because of that guilt and shame that I wasn't making any logical decisions. A lot of things were like, how do you say, a lot of things were impulsive, you know what I mean? I was, oh yeah, I'll move here, or I'm gonna join the military, I'm gonna do this and do that. And I actually did put forth a lot of energy to join the military actually prior to. So I was, from probably the periods between September and January, I have been going through MEPS. I have been working with recruiters and stuff like that to join the military service. I went through this testing and everything like that, and I ended up getting medically disqualified. And upon that time, it kind of threw me off because all of my plans and all everything I had did up to that point was with the intention to leave. And then January came around, I'm like, dang, well, that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm kind of at a loss. I didn't make any backup plans because I was so sure that was gonna happen for me. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna move. So I stacked up a couple thousand, and I was like, I'm gonna move to Florida. Around the same time that I was planning to move, I was starting to feel sick, starting to feel like my body's feeling uncomfortable internally, and I couldn't pinpoint what was going on. Caused a lot of anxiety and a lot of other things, and so I had to stay, go to my doctor's appointments, things like that. I ended up coming upon another job, but I couldn't work because I still wasn't feeling good. So I was on like a whole month of medical leave just because I couldn't actually feel the full commitment of being able to go to work without feeling ill at some point in time during the day. So yeah, I was feeling really uncomfortable. I couldn't work. I had plans to move, and all the money that I had saved, I was essentially using it to live on a day-to-day because I wasn't working. So jump all the way to maybe like a couple of weeks ago, right? I'm sitting there and I'm like, dang, like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been working really hard. My long-term goals obviously is to have not only financial freedom, but mental liberation and being able to help others as well overcome a lot of the hardships that they face, right? Not only in the gym, but with your body, with your mind, with your spirit, and how you process information, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So like, I had thought that I was doing everything right. I read every day, I go to the gym every day, I say motivational things every day, I'm doing my studies, like this journal, every day, just a bunch of different knowledge about different topics, just always going, no matter what page I flip to, it's just like pages full of information, always going, always trying to be the best version of myself and all these things. But to no resolve, I was not seeing any results. And I'm like, dang, like, what am I missing here, right? So I ended up having a situation about a week and a half ago in which I was feeling so ill that I had to go to the hospital again, and my chest and my arm locked up and it was tight. You know what I mean? Like I was moving and it was like my body was like this, like it was not even. I couldn't move it a lot. It was swollen, and it was really scary. Honestly, it was a really scary moment. And I didn't know what to do. I thought that, like, I don't know, that was the ultimate sit down. If I got any message from God, that was the ultimate sit down, be patient, wait right here. Stop trying to move out the state. Stop trying to do all this stuff. Sit down, relax. You know what I mean? After that experience, that's literally what I did. I was in a hospital. I mean, I got healed and everything. I'm here today. But yeah, that was a real wake up call for me to like take a step back. I don't need to even be going outside the shelter every day just to escape that. Sometimes you gotta sit and with your problems and actually process everything that's going on. Process the things that you've been doing. Like I've been doing a lot, but I don't ever sit and reflect on my day. I'm just ready to keep going on to the next thing and going on to the next thing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I had to sit down after that, thing happened. I sat down for a couple days and I really sat and I got some clarity. I was like, well, I'm moving around a lot. I'm making these impulsive decisions. Nothing's working. I feel like I'm putting in the work, but I'm starting a lot of stuff and I'm not finishing. And that was also a big issue that I was facing as to not seeing the results, is that I was just starting a lot of stuff, but I wasn't finishing anything that I had started, right? I really had to sit down, organize everything. What am I doing? What do I feel like is going wrong? Like, what's the actual problem? And then what are the results of what I've been doing? Because that way, if I figure out I'm doing this, this, and this is my problem, are these things helping resolve my problem, or are they creating more problems? Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of opening up new tabs and not closing anything. So that has transformed my thoughts. It changed a lot for me, so I can start thinking more clearly. I can start changing my actions. I can start, you know what I'm saying, like really thinking about what did I need to do. And essentially what I needed to do was to get out of that homelessness, the mindset, the poverty mindset. I wanted to get out of the shelter. That was the goal. And I'm gonna fast forward even now. That was just like a week ago or so. Fast forward even now, I've made a lot of big changes. I've been utilizing my resources. I slowed down. I take everything one day at a time. I started back working. I feel a lot better in my health. I've been praying more. I've been reading the Bible more. Learning to trust God, because that's something I talk about a lot. I always be like, I trust God, I trust in the process, and everything's gonna work out. And I'm still going around, I'm moving, I'm doing all this stuff, trying to have control of my life. But if I trusted God, I wouldn't be working so hard to have control of my life, because I know that I'm in good hands regardless. Do you know what I mean? That's like somebody saying, oh, I'm gonna pay your rent every month. You never have to worry about your rent getting paid. I'm gonna pay your rent every month. And me, okay, I trust you. I know you're gonna pay my rent. And then I'm working out here trying to hustle so hard to make sure I can pay the rent, even though someone already told me that they were gonna pay my rent. And I said I trusted them. But I'm moving like I don't trust that rent's gonna get paid. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just had to kind of come out of that mindset, start thinking more clearly. And it's changed a lot for me. Another thing I want to talk about is being a role model. Being a role model not only for people around you, kids, your siblings, things of that nature, friends even, but being a role model for yourself. Like, for me, my goal in life is to achieve great things and to do great things, and the lifestyle that I have imagined in my head is because of that inner child in me, the younger version of myself who would have been like, man, I really look up to this person. Who did I look up to when I was young? Why did I look up to him? Why did I care about him? Why did I think it mattered? I'm fulfilling those prophecies in the best ways. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be superhero, celebrity, famous, whatever. But like, what do you really want? What are you really looking for in those things? You want to feel trusted, respected. You want people to acknowledge you. You want to be a good role model. You know what I'm saying? You want to be someone that other people can look up to and follow in their footsteps. That's what I wanted anyways. So that's kind of how I live today. Now, going into what being a role model means on a deeper level, it's like not just looking the part, smelling good, dressing good, having a nice car, but it is literally the actions, the words that you use. How do you play? How do you sleep? What do you eat? What do you care about? How do you show up for the people that you care about? How do you express your love? Things like that I think are even important, because I can give somebody all the money in the world. I can give somebody the nice clothes and everything like that and still be a horrible role model. You know what I'm saying? It's way deeper than just a surface level what it looks like. That's what I want to say. I know this is like my first video. It's a little unorthodox. I'm working to becoming a little bit better in my storytelling and a little bit better as the flow and all that stuff, better lighting. I had to get this little umbrella situation. If you want to see, I got a little umbrella up here because the sun was beaming and it felt good, but I could not see anything. I was, you know, so, but I'm glad that you guys stuck around and listened to me, and hopefully that you resonated with anything. Hope you have a great day.